Today, we'll be getting into stories with Edge, Vince McMahon, Maurice, the AEW mention, and the big return that's on the way. Let's start things off with Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon returned at Survivor Series with this mysterious egg that he wanted to show everyone. Vince has also made some brief appearances such as WrestleMania and back on July 23rd for the return of the fans. But as far as him actually taking part in a full storyline, it's been well over a year since we've seen that. Even though it was nowhere near being a good storyline, the egg story caught people's attention simply because of the fact that it involved Vince McMahon after all. So people were going to naturally talk about it. Reports and new information on the original plans for the egg have also started to be released. The egg was obviously paid promotion and advertisement for Netflix movie with The Rock. Reports claim that Netflix paid WWE well over 7 figures for the inclusion of the egg on WWE television. So it was an easy decision for WWE. They made well over $1 million just to include the egg on television. It was a no-brainer for them. The movie stars, The Rock and Survivor Series was a tribute show to The Rock after all, so it was a decent move by Netflix to throw in that promotion the same weekend as that celebration. Considering that Vince McMahon's big return was based around it, the egg storyline was a bit of a letdown. Here's this $100 million egg that gets stolen. They figure out it was Austin Theory, but Vince drops the charges and gives him a title match. That was a weird turn of events, but as Vince says, you have to expect the unexpected. But apparently the original idea for the egg was much worse. Reports claim that the egg was originally going to be tied in with the 24/7 title for its introduction to WWE, but that was ultimately scrapped. The decision was then made for Vince McMahon to return the egg since Vince is obviously going to bring more importance to the story. We don't see Vince McMahon as often as we used to, so any story with him just attracts eyes. So that was the reasoning behind going with Vince's return for the egg. So the egg promotion appears to be over with, but there is some continuation going on here. The big question was if Vince would stick around after everything with the egg was solved, and the answer appears to be yes, for now. Vince appeared on Raw again this week after inviting Austin Theory to his office. Vince warned him not to ever steal from him again, but invited him to watch the whole show together in his office. We saw brief moments between Austin and Vince all night long. Vince McMahon pointed out how some things sucked, gave his thoughts on some of the matches, and one of the main things he told Austin Theory was to always expect the unexpected. They would later have a payoff to the line when Vince McMahon asked Theory what he learned. He said that he learned to expect the unexpected, but Vince unexpectedly slaps Austin Theory, proving that Austin truly hasn't learned to expect the unexpected. So this is a story that we have to keep an eye on now as well. Fans are discussing that it has to mean that great things for Austin Theory are on the way if Vince McMahon is agreeing to have this storyline with him like this. Fans are thinking that it has to mean that Vince is high on Austin Theory. This story could end up having some significance once it's over. It's still early on in the story, so it's hard to get a sense of where this is all going for Austin Theory. But it appears that Vince is teaching him some valuable lessons, some new habits, and just shaping him up a bit in his own image. And we know Vince McMahon already liked Austin Theory as soon as he brought the egg in because Austin reminded Vince of his younger self. So maybe Vince McMahon is really taking a liking to Austin Theory and wants to smarten him up for WWE, take him under his wing. Does that mean Vince McMahon will award him with some more big matches, manage him, or just constantly stay involved with him? That's going to be the answers we'll have to find out. WWE storylines can change or be dropped at any time, but the way they left this one makes it look like there could be more continuation to come. Vince's slap on Austin Theory proved that Austin truly didn't learn anything from what Vince was saying all night long. So does Vince bring him back in the next week and try it again? It would be weird if that was just the end of the story, and we don't see any more interactions between the two of them. That would really be a strange part to leave off at, so it does feel like we'll see more of Vince McMahon and Austin Theory. And we'll continue to see where this could all be leading towards for Austin Theory. Having Vince McMahon in your storyline is obviously a massive deal, so it has to be an important story that we'll have to keep our eye on. Edge returned to Raw this week looking for a new opponent to go up against. He was ultimately cut off by the returning Miz and Maryse. The Miz hasn't been seen in such a long time since he was off filming Dancing with the Stars and other projects. Maryse hasn't appeared since April and hasn't worked full-time since 2017. But the way she came out and returned with The Miz, and considering that John Morrison is also gone, it feels like Maryse is sticking around for the long haul, which is great to see. We obviously haven't seen her on a consistent basis in well over 4 years. Edge and The Miz go back and forth for a while on Raw. One of Edge's surprising lines was a direct reference to AEW Dynamite's CM Punk and MJF promo. CM Punk and MJF exchanged promo blows with each other for nearly 20 minutes on AEW Dynamite recently that went very viral. It had some heavy lines in that segment, even including the line Edge was referring to where Punk said that MJF is a less famous Miz. So in reference to that AEW line, Edge had this to say to The Miz, quote, "You have people on other shows saying your name just to get a cheap reaction. You live rent-free in a lot of heads," end quote. So a little sneak diss there from Edge to CM Punk and AEW, saying that they need to mention The Miz for a cheap reaction. Everyone is used to AEW referencing WWE, but it's quite rare to see WWE reference AEW. So it was quite the moment on Raw. And of course, you have to wonder how AEW will respond to Edge because they most likely will have an answer back in some fashion. The other big return connected to this storyline is, of course, Beth Phoenix. All of the fans had this feeling that this moment between Edge, The Miz, and Maryse could end up with a mixed tag team match between Edge and Beth Phoenix versus The Miz and Maryse. It may soon happen. It may happen down the line, but that definitely appears to be what they're teasing here. Edge and Beth Phoenix were supposed to take on Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss at WrestleMania 37. But those plans were canceled. However, it looks like WWE is now going back to those plans of having a mixed tag team match with Edge and Beth Phoenix after all. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.